questions. Hello from Texas. Hey guys. Vigo Beats, Elliot Cadieux. Hello, and Pulsar Star. Nice. Okay. Well, Texas, I'm sure, is a lot warmer than here. Geez, I'm so over Canada and the cold. I mean, it's great in the summer, and there's so many cool people here, and culturally, it's like there's loads of creative stuff going on, but definitely weather is, yeah, it's like crazy raining right now. Yeah, exactly. Boring. Yuck. It's like the day that you want to just get cozied up with like a hot cup of tea and then, just like make some good music, make cool beats and stuff. Yeah, well, last night I was in the studio until 3 o'clock in the morning. I was just writing a new track for a friend of mine. And I don't know about you guys, but when it's like late night studio stuff, sometimes you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then the next day you listen to it and you're like, what did I just do? It was like a little bit like that, but since I was on a bit of a time, like a time crunch for it, and there's a deadline, I sent the demo last night, which luckily it was obviously a demo, so. But yeah, always fun to have those little moments where you're just like nighttime. It's like sometimes you think you're doing great stuff, and then light of day changes it all horribly. Anyway, so yeah, I've been seriously producing so much these days. I have this song coming out, which I have to say I am super, super excited about. I have like a bunch of cellos I've recorded for it. Oh, so fun. And it's been so fun doing these tutorials and everything for RAC. Yeah, it's been like almost 2 years I've been doing videos for them. How long have you guys been watching RAC videos? I'm sure you've watched at least a few because you're here now. Do you guys have any like critiques or suggestions for the channel? Definitely a good time to give any feedback or any video requests and stuff. Let me know. Definitely always good to have feedback. Maybe. Oh, I think that there's a massive delay between the chat and things I'm getting. So, no stress. Oh, Charles. Sup, Charles? How are you? Hey, hey, hey. Okay, nice. Yeah, well, we're just doing a little hangout. I wanted to come chill, make sure everything was working beforehand, as well as see if anyone had any fun questions. I did get some questions. Hold on. I'm gonna use my brain a second. Hopefully for more than 1 second. That would be beneficial, I think. Classic Darianna being a silly goose. A silly goose. Okay. Yeah, so we had, okay, so the tracks I chose today were there. And then I also had some questions that people wanted me to answer. So they submitted some questions. So I'm going to go to those and see if I can answer them quickly. All right. Oh gosh, golly. Did the chat disappear? This is the thing. Okay, now we're good. Solid. All right. Excuse my phone. I will just not have 12 screens open on my computer so I can actually read the things correctly. All right, so the questions we had. Nice, we're gonna turn off any sort of volume so it doesn't like pop up. All right. Okay, I just found you looking for an expander video. Lol. Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, well, I mean, expanders are important. Like we don't think of it all of the time in terms of production. We will be like expander, limiter, what's the point of that? Like, is it very different? How does it work versus a gate? And well, I am glad that people find me in different circumstances. Cool. Oh yeah, like how have you guys found the RAC channel? Do you guys go to are aware of RAC like in Montreal? I know some of you are from Montreal. Let's see. Okay, so the questions. Let's see, it wasn't that one. Okay, here we go. All right. All right, so I'm gonna mess up the name. There are no, there's no useful. Okay, yeah. In front of people when you're starting from scratch. All the advice I heard is practically not working. You know what, bud? I totally agree. It is rough stuff getting your music in front of people. Unfortunately, the system has changed a lot to a system that is kind of pay to play, but the way it's changed the most is the fact that individuals actually now have agency. Before, you had to work through either labels, distributors, like beforehand you literally as an artist could not upload your own music to Spotify, which is crazy. Like it's amazing that there's been so many advances towards being able to help artists become sovereign and independent and be able to showcase stuff. What I would suggest is finding, yeah, I think the problem is not with distribution, mostly royalties. Okay, yeah, I did a whole video explaining how royalties work, how to collect royalties. I did a whole like music business series, so you should definitely check those out. If you have further questions, I'm sure I can answer them. Just as a general thing, you have to make sure you're signed up to like all of the different pros. You have to sign up to Sound Exchange is a good one. In terms of royalties, you're not going to get much from streaming unless you're streaming a lot and you own all of the publishing and the masters to your songs. However, if you produce a lot, then I highly suggest looking into sync licensing and connecting. There are loads of different people. I'll try and see. There's this one guy that I follow on Instagram. Am I going to remember his name offhand? Most probably not. But he's kind of like a nerd. I'm saying a nerd. It's not nice. I mean, like I'm a nerd, so I'm allowed to say it. But he gives some really good tips for sync licensing, how to pitch your songs to stuff. There's also Seeds, who's a chick producer who works in like Logic, and she has worked with him a few times to set up and explain sync licensing. But you know what? I could maybe do a whole video on sync licensing and how to monetize your songs quickly as you can. A lot of the time for building an audience, I'm going to give my little 2 cents is I really think the most important thing is to have loyal small group of people. Because let's say you were to start a membership club, which I may or may not be doing for my millions of songs on my hard drives. I'm thinking of setting up a producers membership club where you get access to that. But let's just say you have a membership where you have like $10 or $50 a month and people get access to really cool content. If let's say $50 times 100, you're working with like $5,000 a month that you could be monetizing directly based off of 100 people. And then you could make that even to like 50 people. That's still $2,500. 10 people. That's still $500. There are ways that you can monetize off of your content. DTC all the way. Bro, I am horrible with acronyms. There are so many different possibilities. DTC, direct to consumer. I'm hoping it's that. But yeah, I would say if it's DTC, like direct to consumer, I will go with, yeah, direct to consumer. Exactly. Okay, yeah, definitely. I would 100% go direct to consumer. Take out any sort of middleman you can. I have quite a passion personally for independence when it comes to being an artist. I am pushing myself to go even further. I missed your advice on getting music in front of people while starting from scratch. Okay, I will get to that in just a second. But actually, this applies completely to you. So, if you get a small amount of people, you don't need to have a large audience. You can then be strategic with how you put out your content because, unfortunately, as artists, producers today, you will need to put make content a bit, and it's super I'll say fun, or it could be really annoying depending on if you enjoy doing that or not. But by you investing in being present with these small group of people, you don't like literally, it could be 8 people. We have 8 people on this current stream. Like, we do not have a lot of people here. However, we have cool people 100%. And we have people who are participating. Yeah, you don't need a lot of people. You can get like 10, 15 people. But if these people are going to be like ride or die eventually, if you add value, if you become friends with them, they will support you in whatever it is you're doing. Even if you have like a small merch release, or if you have like a small song release, if you can get like, hey, my 8 people, my 10 people, could you share this on your social media? It would be a super solid. For sure, your super fans would do that. So I'd say biggest priority when starting out as an artist and from scratch, and also the strategy long term, I would say, is to really focus on a small group of super fans and building and adding value to them, bringing them in behind the scenes, the stories of what it is that you're doing, how it is you're creating and doing what you're doing, your thought processes behind that. And then from there, there are certain strategies so that your streaming content can have a little bit more life and a little bit more play. So with that, you can do, honestly, like there are loads of playlists that you can apply to. There are loads of creators that are looking for new upcoming music. So that's a really, really cool thing, depending on what city you're in, what country you're in. All local radios and gotta leave the cave and touch some grass. Yeah. Yeah. That's also important. I am very guilty of that. But yeah, so depending on what city you're in, what country you're in, there are local radios, there are local like Instagram DJs that you can send your music to and they're interested in it. When I upload music to music distribution platforms or social media, it's like they're sucked in by a dark hole. No one notices. Yeah, so actually, I just got a really cool course from, uh, what was it, Austere? It was on building a visual brand identity and it has a song release strategy because I'm in the process of going to be releasing my first solo single, which is really, really fun. And yeah, I definitely don't want it to get sucked into a dark hole. That is no fun. And yeah, there's so much music released every day. You have to make it mean something to people. So a lot of what I guess sells a song so people share it is by having it be something that people care about it. And so it has to be something that emotionally evokes something. There are loads of content strategies you can do where you pay a certain amount to, let's say, an Instagram influencer, and then they put your song on whatever their reel is. It's important also that you make sure your quality of what you're putting out is really good. The album art is really good. So that visual brand identity stuff, that's really cool. I will look, I think the girl's name is Austere. I got it. It's actually a really good course and a great yeah, it's Austere. So Austere. I believe. Hold on. Her name is not Austere, though. Which one is it? It's partnered with Austere. What's the girl's chick's name? It's like whenever you're trying to find something, of course you don't find it. Okay, let me see if I can find it. I'll be very, very pleased if I do find it. Okay, so in my latest follows, it was probably about a month ago. You know what I can do? I can check my email. Friggin' so many things to look at and see. Okay, Natasha Brito. That's what it is, Natasha Brito. That's how I feel about guitar picks. Honestly, oh, guitar picks. You want to see something really silly that brings me so much joy? Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm getting the Brito Natalie Brito. I'm making sure I'm getting you guys the right information, sending you to the right things. And then Brito. Was it Natalie or Natalia Brito? I'm so dyslexic. Natasha. It had nothing to do with Natalie. Guys, I swear my brain makes up stuff on the regular. There we go. So if you look up Natasha Auster, I wasn't totally off. I don't know if it'll focus on it. Likelihood not gonna work, huh? Ugh. Okay. Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can copy profile and then put it in the chat. There, y'all. Working with tech. Let's see, does it go if I copy onto here? It should. Copy profile URL, copy, and then paste. Y'all, this is so silly. Okay, it's not working. Okay, hi newcomers. A few new people came. That's fun. I'm just going to write what her handle is on Instagram. It's Natasha Auster. If you can find her, oh, it's one, Natasha Auster. Okay, perfect. So that's, if you go to that, she has a really cool course. I highly recommend if you are an artist that's starting, that wants to build your brand. It's loads of effective content. I will do a video coming up, now that we've talked about this, on how artists can monetize their music quickly, because it is rough stuff being an artist and not having the doll hairs to do what it is you want to do. And now for my brilliant thing that makes me so happy. Because let's be real, we want things that make us happy, guys. There's so many things that we're so serious about in life. And if I find this, I'm going to be very pleased. And I did. It's a pig that lights up. Do you see that? It's so silly. I got one for my nephew and he loved it so much. And I was like, it comes in a pack of 3. I think I'll keep one. So I play with it. All right, so let's get this party started. I am super excited. So far, I have 4 tracks I chose to show you guys and to go over. So we will switch to, I believe it is this one. Yeah. All right, guys. Okay, so I'm moving the chat over here. If ever the signal is not great, do let me know. But let's do a little test. First off, we have, hi, P Music. Hello, hello. We're just about to get started on going over the songs. We did a little chat on music, release strategies, and how to start getting your music in front of people when you're just starting out from scratch. So people had some great questions. Hello, everyone. Hello, Vandor Stoffel. Oh, that name seems familiar because we are going over their song. Okay, so I hope no one is seeing the email because I don't want to give people's email. Y'all are not seeing the email, right? Just confirm, please. I'm pretty sure you're not. Okay, so right. So first off, we have a song by Stoffel, Vandor Stoffel. I hope I'm not saying your name absolutely terribly. I apologize. You are from Hungary, and it is a different name that I've never heard or pronounced before. So, mal bayad. Do you guys think of going to school for music as a waste of time or worth it? Okay, good question. That's a great question before we start. I would say for me, it was totally worth it. I went to Recording Arts Canada and I had already been producing for years, but I found that having a lot of the hands on production, like on boards, miking drum kits, setting up for different live streams, broadcasts, doing any sort of post-production stuff was very helpful, so much so that it got me into doing video content. And I think it added so much value. I actually have a few good friends I made there. The teachers were so helpful and so good. The community at school was very, very, very effective at getting your creative juices flowing, pushing you past your comfort zones into something that maybe you wouldn't necessarily do on your own. I think it's really important to always be a student. So whether it's at school versus at home, I think you should always be working as much as you can with other people. I personally would suggest, if you have the budget, the time, and the capacity to go to do a year program like RAC, definitely suggest. There was so much I got out of it, and it's helped me so much. So I had already been producing for like many years. Like, I think it was like 8 years at that time when I went to school. I started producing when I was young. But in terms of just like, I also, while I was there, I did a whole, like, I guess it was my acoustics class, but we had to solder and learn about circuit boards and stuff. And that actually was something I never thought I would get into, but I loved it so much. I then built mics. So I have 2 mics that I built from mic kits that are so much fun, and they sound amazing. So VIR, let's go. All right. Nice. I don't know. VIR, let's go. Oh gosh, guys, I am like not with the lingo. I'm a nerd in my cave. I don't know anything. Okay, so yes, I was reading the things. Okay, so Stoffel. All right. So Stoffel, I'm so sorry if I'm saying this. Vandor, I'll say Vandor. He started producing 3 years ago. So he doesn't have loads of people around him, and it's just okay, perfect. I just want to make sure if there's any sort of like relevant information. Okay, so he just wants some feedback. This is a new kind of opportunity to share voltage. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, see, I thought it was some sort of like, I don't know, lingo thing. Yes. Electronics lingo. Yes, it is electronic. I meant like more cool lingo that is like, when people are like IRL. I had no idea what IRL was for like the longest time in real life. Anyway, yes, love it. Okay, we are starting this. All right, so let's listen to Stoffel. Are you guys hearing this? Are the levels okay? Y'all will let me know. I can turn it up if need be. I just don't want it peaking and it gets a little bit loud. Nice. Level's good, I think. Nice. I love all the ear candy. Relatively recently started out producing, solid, man. Really cool and great ideas. Everything sounds like deep, dark, cool sound design as well. I don't want to be like talking on top of it. nerd with, I should have better words than easy peasy. But yeah, like easy, you can have that as like a mixtape for some up and coming rapper. Easy. Stop. Period. Punto. Like, sounds great. Ear candy, textures, you're really able to, yeah. Oh my God, thank you. I appreciate you like it. Yeah, solid. Solid. I mean, really, and then musically, it has so many things of interest. I think just in terms of if we're evaluating, let's say, the mix on it, let's take a listen. I hope all of you guys, I say this in all of my videos, but if you're listening, make sure YouTube audio stabilization is off. Otherwise, you're not hearing anything. It's just compressed and then it'll be all illusions. Illusions. So ideally, turn that off, go get some headphones because we're going to dive deep into the song. All right, so I am going to restart it. By the way, just that little like coin drop or like whatever it is at the beginning. Very, very nice. The way that it flows is really, really cool. But I noticed two things that were kind of coming out quite a bit to me. So I'm going to actually, never mind for starting at the beginning. I want to go where we really hear the bass. So do you guys hear that? I mean, hold on, let me turn this down a little bit so I can see the waveform a little bit better. Okay, so what I'm noticing is the attack and this like stringy resonance on the bass, I find a bit distracting. When it can like almost bump a little bit better, not so present, and I feel like it distracts away from the mix. I had set up a little EQ on here. I use FabFilter stuff. If you guys don't and use just regular EQs, totally cool. I love FabFilter. It's expensive, but worth it. Okay, so I have an EQ. I can tell you kind of what I decided I thought would be a good idea. I did a low shelf on here that is dynamic. So anytime, it's not like a huge amount, but I just want to control the low end so we're not having too many problems happening. And then I wanted to do a little bump add around what was the fundamental for the kick. I thought that that sounded pretty good. I wanted to change the color of the bass. I wanted to tame a little bit of what I felt was muddy. There was also a little secondary resonance in the bass that I found a little bit difficult here, same thing here, and same thing here. And then I wanted to open up the track. So what I'll do is I will mute them all, and then we can go through it bit by bit. And okay, that has just like a tiny little thing. We can cut that off. Doesn't really do much. Are you doing anything? Are you dynamic? Dunno. Wild stuff. Sorry if I'm yelling. I actually do not currently hear myself in my headphones. I don't have the mic set up that way. Good Lord, Darianna. Okay, perfect. Okay, oops, wrong button. Are we in? We are in focus. Cool. All right, so now let's take a listen to what the low end, I'm gonna put this on loop. If we take to the low end and we'll just activate this and see, we get the information on here. So it's good. Overall, the mix is right. It's all good. I would just be, if I'm being very particular, I would say there would be a few things I'd change. So I'll show you. And I can only do so much from a stereo thing. So here, this is just gonna help it clean up a little bit on that low end. And then let's try and get that kick knocking a little bit more. Yeah, already with the kick, I like that better. And then we're gonna adjust the bass tone. So let's take a listen to that. So already that's more full, but now we're getting a bit of mud. So we wanna clean that up. I would even do this on dynamic, I think. Make dynamic, and then like an extra, a little bit less than that. But yeah, okay, so I have some feedback on if I were to change anything production-wise. I just wanna show you stuff. So let's listen to it without it. Let's go actually to the middle. It'll be easier to kind of select that. A little bit closer. Oh my God, we have Techno Dad in the house. Hey, Techno Dad. Blue lights. Yes, 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 yes. Of course, there are blue light glasses. I get headaches if not. Okay, yo, this song is begging lyrics. 100%. Y'all, this is the whole thing. You guys are a community. If you have rappers, I mean, I rap, but like, definitely I'm not this hard. But, yeah, talk amongst yourselves. This is the whole idea. Okay, now let's see that. Already? It has more control. It's breathing. We're not getting so much of that bass up in your face with the like attack. Even just the little things. Oof. Okay, so I like that better personally. Next up, I put, what did I put? Let's check it out. Soothe. Yeah, for the melodic bass, I wanted a little bit of control. If you guys have not used Soothe yet, Soothe, you're like a ninja with it. You got 16 bars ready to go? I will not embarrass myself. Yeah, it does sound better controlled, exactly. Soothe, y'all. It sucks to put out money on plugins, but like at the same time, Fab Filter series, Soothe, Nectar, Neutron, Isotope stuff, kind of standards. If you can, Black Friday's like sales, so worth it. It takes your stuff always to the next level. Like the UAD plugins, oh my God. Anyway, Soothe. Already we're getting that bass without it. See, that already sounds better. All right, so let's take this one. I'm doing a multi-band. This is punch level. So this is, like, I literally am just choosing a preset. I want to do this super fast just so I had something prepped. And we have two that we're going to try just ourselves. Okay, and so without it, there's a lot of space. It's not live. Now it feels more glued, right? And then we have here just a compressor. Now it's knocking a little bit more, you know what I mean? So my feedback. Sorry if I'm yelling into this microphone. Wow, it does sound more controlled. I'm actually struggling to believe that you did that with just Pro Q. I mean, wow, honestly, Pro Q, EQ, guys. I will say EQ and panning. You can mix just with those if you're smart with it, and then levels. For me, like if it's vocals, I am manually going in and de-essing everything. I go on all of my S's and I bring them down. I obviously put like fades and stuff, but like unless you're doing that, like you can do most of the mix pre-actually mixing. Then it just becomes like colorful. I usually set it up, again, I'll do a subtractive EQ where I just take out all the problems and then I do coloration EQ. But yeah, okay, so let's go to where I was hearing some problems. So when the bass was going higher, the playing of it, messing up your stuff, dude. I don't know where it is in the track. There. You guys heard that, right? That little bit. Because you're in a whole different octave and the tone of it is different, I would cut that bass part. I print everything in audio. I'd cut that and put that on a separate track and mix that separately. If you guys want, I did a tutorial on how to manage your low end. Or no, I did one. Okay, that one's important. But then I also did a tutorial on multing your bass. And I think this would be a great idea for this track. Overall feedback, I think production, you got something solid going on. Now let's just take a listen to prior to what I did, how it sounded, and then with my suggestions. Again, these are suggestions. You guys do as you would do. Okay, I called the plug, got a pack with the maximum delivery. I'm guessing that's Oh, dang. We have some bars, guys. We have some bars. Okay, I will not attempt to rap it because not only am I not really a rapper, that's not hard, but I'm also hella dyslexic, so I probably would not get cadence well at all. All right, so let's take a listen, but I love it that people are dropping bars. Like 100%, y'all need to link up. Okay. So this is what it sounded like before. Sorry. Maximum delivery around. Yeah, not even gonna try. All right. See that mud? The bass isn't controlled. Now let's try it with this. You see, it just breathes a lot more. And this isn't even mixing into tubas. You guys, mixing into your tubas from the get-go, big difference in your stuff. Get a really good few mastering plugins. One I really like, I'll show you guys. One I really like for mastering. I mean, it depends on what you're doing, but I like Capital. This one sounds really good. You guys sent me something that I think already had a limiter on it, so I'm not gonna get it super squashed, but this sounds really good. And you have a lot of really cool ones. There's a preset on here that I actually really like. It was space something, I think. What is it called? Space? What is it? Parallel space. That one sounds really cool. Anyway, we're not going to have that on. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for sending that in. I think we clarified a few things in terms of production. Also, if you want your stuff to sound a little bit more live and dynamic, make sure you are playing, if you're playing any sort of MIDI instruments, play with the attack time, play with the velocity, so it feels like you're playing different. It feels live. You know, like if you quantize everything, it's going to sound very sterile. But if you have it live, if you play a little bit with the rhythms, already I don't think this sounds sterile. But just as a general, also delay time on, let's say, a reverb, you can add a little bit of length at the end of it and add a little bit of a parallel reverb. Parallel. Oh my gosh. In parallel, because reverbs are usually mostly always in parallel, but more so tail end reverb. That's what I was saying. Dang. All right, moving on. P music. Let's go.
I never ever say that, so keep the next thing you
I chose a wide variety of styles so that we could really have fun.
Much, but you did it and we both know that the perfect storm right now is about to form. We turn the volume up because the comprehension gets worse. It doesn't matter anymore. What hurts me the most are the words that you don't say. What was easy to start is impossible now to stop.
Man, that sound reminds me of the Nelly Furtado album. Whoa, Nelly.
What happens when anger takes control? Oh no,
Queen.
watch my back, hold my gun as the fire intensifies. Like a rain of bullets falling over our heads then. All is on fire and it's okay.
Man, there's so many different influences in this. So fun. Okay, so let's quickly look at
We didn't want to go this far. We have been fighting for too long. With everyone
Okay,
of
so
our scars,
this
we
was
could cover
mixed
up the best
only
moments that we spent.
with free plugins.
Now I cannot remember how I
That's
used
crazy.
to think before.
So he used a Neumann M149, which is really cool, that his friend
What
lent him.
happens when anger takes control? Oh no.
Okay, so he's having difficulty with mixing the voice
Watch my back, hold
and
my
the low
gun
end
as the
in
fire
general.
intensifies.
An independent artist from Spain, guys.
Like a rain
So
of bullets
cool.
falling
Pablo.
over our heads then. All is on fire and it's okay. Watch my back, hold my gun as the fire intensifies. Like a rain of bullets falling over our heads then. All is on fire and it's okay.
The guitar tone.
All is on fire and it's okay. All is on fire and it's okay.
It's so fun to synth. You guys are so good with ear candy. It's like my favorite thing. Like that part of
All is
production.
on fire and it's okay.
Nice. Love that. Okay, awesome. All right. So I have a few little just sound-wise suggestions in terms of production. If we're listening here,
Okay.
that clap sound is the same every single time. You maybe will want to adjust the velocity so it has a little bit of interest, so it doesn't feel just like it's a sample that's just looped or like a VST.
All is on.
Also, what's really fun is to layer in your own claps on top of things. So whenever I'm using samples or like instruments, if like I have like a little drum loop I found and I'm like, oh, this is awesome, and it was obviously a MIDI thing, I will then reamp my my sound and then send that through an amp and then mic my amp. If you're working with very limited things, there are some reamp softwares which are really helpful, as well as there are just simple ways of just changing the volume of the sample or the velocity of the MIDI to get different tones, as well as the length. So the perceived length of let's say a snare, a kick, you can really change the volume of it by just changing how long it is. So the shorter it is, we actually perceive this as less loud. So you don't even have to add dBs to your master, which sometimes will interfere with stuff. But since it's just a clap, I think that's cool. But yeah, okay, so other suggestion, I would suggest manually going in and cutting up all your S's and bringing them down, because I find de-essers so stinking clunky. I've tried all of them. I whistle like a gopher. It's not cute, and it's been the plague of my existence as a singer, my S's. So I highly recommend just like going in and like manually pulling them all down, cleaning it up, anything that you want to just S's, T's, P's, nectar. So audio suites right here. If we're looking at the RX series, isotope, you have mouth declick, you have DS. Even the DS on here, I find it too clunky. I literally go in and manually do this. Okay, so I got things started and I put on an EQ. So let's look at what I did. It's actually similar to the other one. I'm boosting a little bit the kick dynamic, pulling a little bit and taming the low end. I'm boosting in the mids because I found part of the voice was not really cutting through, and that's another reason why there, when I boosted that, I didn't want it to feel thin. So I did that, and then I pulled out in the low mids. I find often either at 250 or around like 165 there are usually problem areas, so good to explore that. It's not much. I mean this is actually quite a lot if it were master, but yeah, like pulling that down just so there's a bit of clarity. Again, there was a resonance here that wasn't working, and I usually add a little shelf at the top just to really open it. So let's hear what it sounds like without it.
We turn the volume up because
And then
the comprehension gets worse. It doesn't matter anymore.
Like,
what hurts
right
me the
away,
most are the words that you don't say.
Like
What was
such
easy
a
to
big
start
difference.
is impossible now to stop.
And then let's just like wait until the voice.
And I don't know what happens when anger takes control. Oh no, I watch my back, hold my gun as the fire intensifies.
It's like we actually hear the voice now.
Like a rain of ballads
better,
falling
right?
over our
Just
heads
like
then.
getting that clear. So again, like you can even screenshot
All
this
is on
and copy this
fire
exact
and
thing.
it's okay.
Or the replay, you can go back and screenshot it, but yeah, like that. And then what I did after, I did a DS to try and help tame that.
We didn't want to go this far. We have been fighting for too long.
Yeah, it's also picking up those F's. So that was me. I would do it all manually, but just so we could get the general idea.
Now I cannot remember how I used to think before.
Already better for me. All right, so then we have here multiband.
And I don't know.
I wanted to open up the mix a bit more, so all the mix, I kind of had that.
Watch my back, hold my gun as the fire intensifies. Like a rain of bullets falling over our heads then.
Like, come on.
All is on fire and it's okay.
Wild. That mid just opened up. Exactly. Like, that's the whole thing. We just need the song to breathe well. So, again, these like mids, low mids, often we overload them. And it's just about finding. Like, if we take away the EQ, do you see how everything is still...
Yet time always passes. Morning always comes.
Everything up. Okay, and then now, let's add that compressor.
We're in a battlefront, so all I do is just watch my back, hold my
Is it too
gun as
loud?
the
Is it
fire
crushing for you guys?
intensifies.
And then I put soothe because I put soothe on everything. And this, I wanted an ear-friendly top on the master. I'm literally just going with very, very basic, clean things. Right, guys? No, sounds good. Okay, awesome. Right? It opened up. So much better now. Oh, good. Like, easy. I mean, easy in the sense that, like, it's 5 plugins. It takes ears to listen, but when you know what you're listening for, I'm a sucker that I'm a sucker. Meaning, I have given up trying to mix my own stuff. I'm so particular, but I know I have massive demoitis. And when I'm like deep in the trenches, I'm not hearing stuff. It takes someone else's ears to kind of like hear the problems. So this is why it's important to get, I find anyway, find someone who you trust their ears entirely and get them to mix your stuff. And or come back, because like once they do a pass, you'll be like, oh, I now hear that was a problem. Or like, oh, duh, I needed to like open up my track a bit more. Okay, guys, so let's listen to it again without it and then with. And then what we'll do here, we will just add in the live mix together. I thought it would be fun to do 2 of these live. I had 2 that I had prepped beforehand. I'm going to do quick passes. This didn't take me long. It took me like maybe 10 minutes on each where I just listened and I was like, okay, this is what I'm hearing. So also make sure you have headphones that you know super well. I know the coloration of these, so I'm mixing into something that I know. So ultimately when it translates out, it's going to translate better. So that's also a huge thing. Understanding how speakers work, how the sound is pushed out even through the woofers in headphones, like that's important. Okay, so without.
We turn the volume up because the compression gets worse. It doesn't matter anymore.
Honestly,
what
could
hurts
stop
me
at
the
EQ.
most are the words that you don't say.
I'm dancing, let's be real.
What was easy to start is impossible now to stop.
And then that multi-band, just opening it up.
And I don't know what happens when anger takes control. Oh no, I watch my back, hold my gun as the fire intensifies.
Okay,
like
y'all.
a rain of bullets falling over our heads then. All is on fire and it's okay.
See? All that sounds better. Good job, Pablo. Honestly, it's so fun, and I think the more you get used to listening. And also, again, when you are worried about low end, I think it's a really good video on low end management. And also, I have some demos on it as well. So I think that that's really, really helpful. If you guys see what I'm doing, I'm just copying over the basic plugins. I don't think I'm going to need DS on these dudes, but potentially. So I'm going to actually, I'll leave it. And then if I don't use it, I don't use it. But wrong button. Shortcuts and buttons, guys. Anyway, I'm just dragging and dropping them and then I'll adjust it. Okay, so this, guys, I told you I chose different styles because we are an eclectic group of people and also we have mega talents. So I thought I often watch mixing videos, EQ stuff, but I rarely heard the difference. Dramatic. Yeah. Honestly, I'm so happy that it helped and you could really hear the difference. Of course, maybe you didn't have YouTube stabilization, audio stabilization off, but also it makes a review. I'll rewatch this later lots of times. Honestly, screenshot if you want to just reapply what I did. And if you can, do it on the individual tracks prior to you printing it out, just because you're going to get so much more control. Very, very good. And also, yeah, good job, guys. But yeah, it's honestly EQ, guys. EQ, just go where it's cluttered, pull that down a bit and open up the top end. And 9 times out of 10, you'll hear how different it is. Is the live rewatchable? I will make sure it is rewatchable. Normally my lives are set up to be rewatchable. I hope I click the button that makes it rewatchable. You know what? I realize I am not currently recording this, which I should have. I'm pretty sure it's rewatchable because the test stream I did earlier, I could rewatch it. So I would assume that it is. If not, my bad. I'll make sure the next ones are. But if ever, I'll keep this session. So if ever the stream is not rewatchable, I will be able to send you guys screenshots of all of the different plugins that I put on. Okay. All right. So next up, we have Hellfire. Do you guys know what that is? That is going to be metal. Okay, so this is from Elliot. Ooh, excited. Also Montrealer. Honestly, super excited. When I heard this, I was like, because I didn't really want to like, at first I was like, okay, I'm going to live react to them, but I could not wait. So I took some little peeks, and this one's wild. This one is, make sure if it's too loud, you let me know. Wild. Crushing for you guys. Guitar sound is so good. Okay, I'm gonna just quickly start doing a little EQing. You guys how effective this one was right here. Do I even need to do anything else? What? Yeah, you guys hear that? Busy. Don't want too much. Just want to clean it a bit. Even the mids here. Not that I want to like carve out the mids entirely, but listen. That one's not bugging me as much. Yeah, this one is doing all of the work there. Let's see if we can open up when the voice comes. And then this I would want to open up a little bit more. I'm going to have some suggestions for right? Just that. Like, are you kidding? Just the EQ on that. Also, intro. Badass. Wild. Absolutely wild intro. Nuts. I love that so much. We hear everything. Man, this one was like game changer. We could even, if we wanted to, see if the fundamental of the kick is roughly around there too. No, usually in rock it's a bit higher. The guitar sounds awesome, right? Wild. He's a guitar player. Nuts, Elliot. Nuts. You see there's a lot happening in this given thing. I want to show you where you're hearing the voice. You have all of the happening at the same time and it's masking it. Those cymbals. You want to mix that, I know, in heavier rock scenarios. Sorry, I'm yelling. I'm so sorry, guys. Heavier rock scenarios, you don't want to have it be like you want it to be crushed. I will, however, suggest that those cymbals, you don't want them to feel like they are just shut down through a limiter. You want them to breathe still a little bit. So what you could do is layer a few different compressors so that you're catching the peaks prior to going into that limiter. So unfortunately I don't have we don't have all the drums just so I can show you, but that's something that you can do, like put a few compressors where you don't have a very high ratio, you have like a low ratio of maybe like 1.52, so it's just catching that peak transient of those crashes, and you do that a few times, like maybe 2-3 times, you then print that, and then after that even we were talking about expanders. You could use either like maybe an expander and clean up a little bit the shape, or you have transient shapers, like doing any sort of ADSR stuff where you can maybe clean up the tail end of the crash, because as we're listening to the crash, let's listen again. Let's make this intro wild stuff. It's just a wall of sound, which we do want in heavy stuff, but you want to be dynamic and playing. Right now, it's hard to get that playing. You know what I mean? I would have added a slap delay on vocals. Yeah, man. Totally, slap delay on vocals are classic. Okay. So I'm not going to use the Esper. Let's go to the multi-band. I would use Parsnips Rescue. My bad. Absolutely not. This is usually just like a starting point. Let's see. Yeah, that's crushing everything. You know what though? That gives me a really like an idea of how when you have those crashes kind of not interfering with the vocal, you can hear how the vocal could sound and cut through. Because right now, even if I EQ it, the vocals aren't going to be cutting through. Okay, where's it? Right? This is obviously not what I would do, but you can hear the voice a bit more. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's not do that one because that does not sound good. Maybe let's do just like a smooth high because basically I maybe won't even use the multi-band how I normally use it. I maybe would just play around each individual band, but to be honest, we don't have loads of time, so we're gonna do just quick little fixes here. Yeah, subtle, but helping tame that high end. Okay, cool. And then suit is gonna be massive. I'm gonna go, I mean the one that we have is that. You always A/B to see what you're doing. I like this one better, but ugga mugga. Yeah, see that was the thing. Yeah, that sounds better. Right? I can see if I want a parallel punch. Usually this is a good tube. That's too heavy in the mids. Not necessary. I mean, yeah, so that does actually add a bit. What I do want to add is I think I'm gonna add Pultec, this MIDI cue. You know what I can try and do? I'm gonna do a secondary fab filter and I just wanna play with coloration and see what I can do with that. So normally I'll have one that's kind of, I don't know, just a subtractive and then an additive. Oops. Okay, sorry, you got teoxed. Right, so let's lift that up and see if we can. It's just like we want the voice without interfering of the crashes, but I think that's impossible in this. Come on, guys. Y'all are so badass. Like, this. This is hectic. I love a sparkly top end. I think around here, that's a bit much. I don't want it to feel like we're closing the thing. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to isolate that we had right around here, I guess. See if we can isolate where that crash is. Oh my god. So much better. Okay. Ha! I would have added. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, so let's go from before, after surgery. Sometimes we gotta be a little bit more intensive with the surgery. But yeah, prior to, I would really make space for the vocals. and make sure that my crashes will not interfere with my vocal frequencies. There's tracks, plugins like Track Spacer that you could use that kind of do that, but I would do it just manually, and make sure that like the body of my voice and where it cuts through. I think your voice here is coming through maybe around like 4.5K. I would try to cut that out of any sort of crashes. Also, where it interferes around, I think what I just did there, this one is interfering 6.7. That was, I felt, where the body was. But depending on what you like and the tone you want to go for, that's what I would do. So I would kind of do that. So let's listen to it without and then with, and so we get a little bit of an idea. Badass. And then EQ. Like, are you kidding me? And then this brings a little bit of the mid back. Same here. I mean, not bad. Not bad what I did. But yeah, that didn't even take time. Like what? That was like 15 minutes? Not even? Come on. Like, use your ears, guys. You guys have these tools. You have 2 of them, hopefully. Yeah, balanced. A lot more balance now. That's the thing. You just got to go in, dive in, and yeah. Man, Elliot, I'm really impressed with you. That must be wild to go to shows of yours. Wild. Like, again, I'm not someone, like, I like all types of music. I can appreciate basically everything, including country, including heavy metal, including all of that. Is it something that I'll go and listen to on my own volition at length? Probably it would be not, just because I have a very nervous system that is easily overwhelmed. However, this is like, it goes so hard. Like, are you kidding? Stank face. I didn't even try to do that. That happened naturally. Good job, Elliot. Sounds better now. And again, yeah, okay. Thanks a lot for the tips, Dari. Very helpful. We have to upcoming show in Montreal. Yo, put down the details. I'm sure if anyone's in Montreal, super happy to go. If I'm available, F yeah, I'ma come. I love getting to see live shows. Such fun. But yeah, put the deets down in the chat. Okay, so now we have Cloudy. I'm actually not sure if Cloudy is going to be here because he is from Australia, which is really fun. I've always wanted to go there. I've watched many on an Australian show. However, I will not attempt the accent, even though immediately that's my problem. I do accents. I'm like master of disguise. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, guys. Okay, so I just got another message. Okay, so this will be next one. Someone sent in okay, so we already have some new streams, new songs for the next stream. If you guys want, you can resubmit other songs. Super happy to do this. I find this actually loads of fun. Are you guys having fun listening to some fun music? Okay, wait. It's, oh, La Scala. Nice. Oh, no, La Sala Rosa. Okay, still really nice. We're opening for Castle. May 7th. Okay, if I'm in town, F yeah, let's go. Okay, all right. So this one is, the artist is Cloudy, which is a fun name. I like and he said, my name is Tanner, but I release music under the alias Cloudy, pronounced like the big fluffy things in the sky. Great vibe already. Yeah, so he wrote this about his girlfriend. They were living like 5 hours apart, and he just wanted to run away from all the responsibilities to be with her. And so it's like a lot of like Peter Pan references in it. I thought it was super sweet story. And on top of it, he like wrote a really cool thing, and I wanted different styles of music, so I chose this one because it is a different style. Okay, so I don't think he's here because I think in Australia it's an ungodly time. So let's just take a listen. And yeah, Tanner, let's enjoy your song. My iced coffee that's no longer iced.
Got you feeling locked inside your room. Desperation.
Same thing with the de-essing, guys. Gotta do that manual.
Why so resistant? Can you hear me calling?
Especially when you're going into any sort of vocoding or whatever. It's gonna clear up. If you're doing lower pitches as well, you want to even cut out those S's.
Where you don't have to be alone. Drunk on expectations.
Alright.
Growing revelations.
Alright, let's clean up and just hear how that low comes out with the strumming. That's the exact same thing on the other one.
Fake your plans and take my hand to never land. 'Cause we're not dumb enough to grow up.
You guys are so cool.
We fell asleep in the backseat with nothing but a pocket full of
Already, just that low. See that? We now just breathe that little bit, man. I'm telling you, EQ, guys. Okay, I'm gonna go back on that, but like honestly, EQ is where it's at. All right, banger, right? Cloudy, you guys are so talented. Wild. Okay, so already that kick, I think a little bit higher. See, you can hear the attack is slower. This is how you can tell. Fundamentals, like probably about there. I like it better low though. Yeah, even a little bit lower than that.
Can you hear me calling? I hate it when you're
It's not that much. 0.7 dB. It's that little bit. All right, we're gonna again. I think around 160. No, it's slower.
Can you hear me calling? I hate it when you're on your own. And over the horizon,
Just a touch of it. I think the
there's a
dynamic
place
is too
that
much.
we can go.
Just like a
Where you
little
don't
bit.
have to be alone. Drunk on
Actually, that breathes a little bit better, a little bit lower.
expectations.
There, I like that.
Growing revelations. Falling out your window.
Normally, I don't like a little bit more of the boxy area, but I think it'll add some tone to the voice. Let's see. Okay, let's go.
Can you hear me calling? I
Hear the
hate it
voice?
when you're on your own.
It's that little
Over
bit.
the horizon,
It's just a little bit more
there's a
present.
place that we can
Without it being like that body, it's not in the low where it's interfering with anything. But yeah, man, I find that works.
drunk on expectations.
Okay.
Growing
I currently can't see the chat, so if I'm missing things, I'm gonna check in a little bit. I think it's around 3K. Maybe a little lower. Hold on. Alright, so around there.
when you're on your own.
Wow.
Over the horizon,
My ears just calm down.
place that we can go.
Right?
Where you don't have to be alone.
Let's do that.
Drunk on expectations.
And now let's open it up a little bit.
Revelations.
Same thing every time.
Window, you are my shadow.
Nice.
Fake your plans and take my hand to Neverland. 'Cause we're not dumb enough to grow up. Let's get lost together.
So I'm trying to see, is it the track that's just like oversaturated, or is it also like a little bit flipping for you guys? No, okay, so he sent me a track that was like slightly hot. Okay, no problem. I'll keep it a little bit lower. Just oh, I don't want that one. I don't want that. What I want. That's what it is. I added that. Okay. It's actually all my fault. Okay, so what I wanted instead was actually the de-esser. Let's do split. I usually like that one better. Again, there's sibilance, which I think is probably a good thing. Okay, let's go again. Let's hear how this sounds. That's so much more open, but I think there might even be something that's better. Let's try this. See, it's getting slammed in the low end. Let's try that again. See? Not really breathing, and then we're getting that. Again, we're working with a vocal with the S's. Manually go and bring those down prior to anything. And then let's see how this feels with this. Honestly, parallel punch immediately, yeah. And then let's try soothe. So fun.
Can't help thinking that somehow you knew we'd be floating here. Drunk on expectations, growing revelation.
Nice.
Falling out your window, you are my shadow.
Such a pretty guitar tone as well. So dreamy. So that little high end though, there's something there that something in that high end I find a little bit throwing me. Get a tighter cue. I think it's like roughly about that. Right? Oh, that made such a big difference. Wow, let's go again. You have that clutter? You know what? I could even boost that little bit of the bass. Yeah. Nice. Where it's like sounding nice around 100. Not a lot. I mean, that's just a lot. That's like almost 3 dB. Like 1.3. And then we'll make it dynamic. So it goes up. Oh, way too much dynamic for us. Oh, just like a little touch. Okay, let's go back to where it was like a little bit crazy. Ooh. Darianna, what did you just do? All right, guys. Right? Okay, without it? Like, it feels so like this just helps to breathe a lot more. I think personally, looking into like mixes and stuff, I think that was probably pushed a little bit too hard into the limiter prior to really taming those transients, because the transients are what is like really gonna mess up your limiters. You want things with like any sort of high transient, you want to pull it down prior to. Also your low end, that low end here of this like deep subby situation. Why are you not popping up, bud? What intonations is happening? That was not a very good Australian accent, Darianna. That's embarrassing. Embarrassing. Why are you not popping up, bud? Okay, there we go. See, like low end, below 30. We're getting like sub frequencies. I don't like to do the shelf as much just because I feel like the shelf, you are gonna be getting more artifacts. And the artifacts usually appear a little bit higher, and then that can interfere with actually the tone of the bass as well as the tone of the kick. So I tend to just do a little shelf, and I usually make it dynamic. So the stronger those frequencies are pushing, the more we're getting pulled out. So it does help with just taming that level. And if you think of your mix in terms of voltage, what has the most power? Sub frequencies. So the fact that sub frequencies, the waveform is a lot larger, so it takes a lot more energy to recreate. So that's why watching my speaker video and like the low end situation is a really good thing, because it'll help you understand how these machines recreate sound and thus how we should mix for those machines. So yeah, so doing that makes a big thing. So if I think prior to the mix, Tanner, I would really, on everything with low end information, add a shelf on the EQs. Yeah, I would maybe even around 170 or so. It felt a bit cluttered, so you maybe want to pull that out around your voice around 580, 600. I liked a little bit more information for your voice, so I would maybe boost there. I'd pull out around 3K, 2.6 and 3K, pretty much everything. Your voice, 4.8, that sounded nice, and also around 14.5, 6.6, almost 0.7 actually, kilohertz. I actually dipped quite a lot because that information I found to be overwhelming and overwhelming my ear. Same thing around these two points, that was interfering quite a bit with your whole mix and how it breathes. So those, prior to it going into your tube bus, make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're taming the top end of any sort of transients with like a low ratioed compressor. Depending on if it's something that you need to catch the transient, you need it to be a very fast attack. So you're not letting those transients like cut through. So it's, again, like if you're doing like a very nominal amount, like maybe like a 1 dB type, not even 1.1 or 1.5 ratio on that. So you're just like timing those little top bits. All right, so let's take a listen to it without and with so that we can enjoy it. But guys, honestly, awesome stream. I'm so impressed with you guys. I find it so fun. Ooh, y'all. Ruh-roh. I think my Pro Tools is bugging out a little bit. Ooh, yep. Yipperoons. You see that? That little red line is staying there? Mm-hmm. We might be on this side. All right, we will see how this goes. It might crap out. All right, so let's go from the beginning again. Hopefully it'll let us play it, and then we go on to the other side to access the plugins. Too many soothes. Bro, can you ever have too many soothes? I don't think so. I love soothe. I use it on everything. It's magic. It is the best. It is the best. I use it for side chaining. It's my only thing I'm using on side chaining now. Like, I love it. I do the melodic bass, and I put that linked to my kick, and it gets the exact transient of my kick and the exact pitch, and it pulls it out, and it's the smoothest. There aren't artifacts. I love it. Already, this is so good. Yeah, S's. Guys, remove them on lower pitches. If you're using like a vocal synth type thing, you'll want to manually CPU is a bit of limitation. Oh my god. Charles, CPU is the bane of my existence.
Fake your plan and take my hand.
Okay.
And never learn. 'Cause we're not dumb enough, we're not dumb enough.
Is that adding a lot of volume?
Let's get lost together.
You're right, it is. I think the kick is throwing it.
Nothing but a pocket full of Polaroid pictures.
My output down a little bit. I think it's also the track itself. I'm gonna try to balance it. When it sounds on the guitar bit, sounds great. Okay, so let's actually go back. I interfered with myself. Oh, good lord! You see how this is now bugging, guys? Oof, rough stuff. Rough stuff. Okay. This means my computer is not happy. Okay, so we'll go back here. All right, let's go. Let's add them all before my whole thing craps out. Soothe, you saw how good Soothe is? Best for side chaining 808s with kick smash. 100%. 100%. Soothe is the best. Okay, wait. Soothe is one of the few plugins that are actually game changers. 100%. I'm new, y'all. Is that Pro Tools? 100% Pro Tools. I also use Ableton, but like, I've been Pro Tools since I changed from, I literally started producing in Cubase and Reason, like so long ago. But yeah, are we seeing the difference? I can't go back and forth, really. We can try quickly. That. So much more open. That high end isn't irritating my ear. Not that it's an irritating song at all. It's just that there's a certain frequency that was like tiring my ear. All right, guys. Good job, Tanner. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you guys can screenshot if ever you want to use the same things I did. But hopefully you're doing this on a mix and not just your two-bus. All right, so yeah, so we were talking stuff. I love Neverland. Fun fact, Neverland is part of my lore. Honestly, I could dance to that. I could dance to all the songs you guys sent. They're so fun. Okay, and then a fade out. A fade out. And we're doing a fade out. Good job, guys. Okay, so yes. Rel Love, yes. Pro Tools. Yeah, there are lots of good DAWs. I do love me. Here, I can go back to my face. Sup. Honestly, I'm so silly, guys. But yeah, I started with Cubase and Reason. Then I moved on to Logic. I did not like Logic at all. My joke that I've said I don't know how many times is I found it illogical. It's a good joke. And then I tried Pro Tools, I guess. And I've stuck with Pro Tools. I also use Ableton sometimes, but yep. Mostly Pro Tools, which is loads of fun. Honestly, I can do so much with Pro Tools. A lot of people are like, oh, it's so hard to get creative in Pro Tools. I don't think so. And on top of it, the fact that it has so much compatibility within the industry. So if you're working with engineers, a lot of the time, if they work in studios and stuff, they have Pro Tools and usually use Pro Tools. Pro Tools is most expensive. Honestly, to be honest, if I were starting now and I were like tight on budget, I 100% would go with Ableton. 100%. I have all of my sessions in Pro Tools, my shortcuts in Pro Tools. I really am used to the interface as well as I know how to work really quickly in it. So that is a huge, huge, huge win for me. There are a lot of annoying things with Pro Tools, and a lot of them is they tried to move it over to subscription model, even though you can have perpetual licenses, and they made it like difficult to have your plugins work after a certain amount of time. So I have my qualms with Pro Tools, but since I'm like deep in the system, I'm captured. But I also love it. So yeah, but if I were starting now, 100% I would go Ableton. It's relatively inexpensive. You can get the Ableton Lite for like probably free. I think if there are certain subscription stuff, like let's say it's like Lander or Splice, I forget which one, you can get an access to like a Ableton Lite subscription and stuff. Lo-fi plugin. Honestly, though, Pro Tools, like their base things, y'all don't know this, but like, I mean, to be honest, I have no idea if my cute little situation is going to be working. But one of my favorite plugins, guys, you guys are going to think I'm so silly. Expound exclamation mark 2. This dude. It's like basic Pro Tools stuff, but like, I kid you not, there are some things on here that are like super badass. I've been making a whole bunch of these little videos I'm going to be putting out, just like little cover videos and stuff for content. And I found, okay, in loops, like sick. So crazy. Where was it? I think it was, ooh, you know, I'm not sure if it's this. It might be this, but like wild. Okay, let's see. Okay. Ooh, it might not let me do it. Okay. Is it going to work? Maybe it's going to work. All right, let's go. Okay, it's low. Okay, hold up. Hold up! Wait a minute. What is it? Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put my 2 cents in it. There we go. Look, are you kidding? And you can just like, man, too many fun things. Honestly, Pro Tools has some great stuff. There was also a Timbaland, yeah, a Timbaland style beat. What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Honestly, dope. Dope. Love it. There's also, I mean, there's just so many, and it's just like infinite amount of sounds. And you think that they all sound like crap. They don't. Actually, they sound really cool, a lot of them. There are obviously things that like, are you going to get a good brass sound? Nay. Are you going to get one that will be entertaining? And actually not as bad as you think? Let's try. Obviously, you'd be like, okay, that's a bit of a stretch, but like you can do things and it might actually not be so bad. Surprise. Anyway, and it comes with Pro Tools, so that's great. You know what's a plugin, guys? I mean, we can spend like 10 minutes and then I gotta peace out because I have a sound. My friend's releasing an album tonight, so I'm gonna go. Okay, people honestly have been getting on and on about FL Studio, and it's something that I've been like kind of wanting to try, but it feels so far removed from me, you know what I mean? But yeah, Wave Shaper underrated plugin. Honestly, there's so many underrated plugins, but I'm going to show you something I've been using a lot of lately. This might mess up my freaking CPU. Oh yeah, I could probably put so I'm now working with Waves and Auto Tune, and you know what? I might do another stream on my page, and I can set up what is it called? Affiliate links. Yeah. Because I can now, like, I'm partnering with them, so I can now get like affiliate things through them, which is really cool for me because I'm like independent completely. I work with RAC, I work with other brands, and just a little hustle. But if you guys are getting things, then it helps a little play out over here. So I can put some links on some stuff. But yeah, Cube guys. Them I want to work with so bad. I am obsessed. So I have a sound healing project that I absolutely adore. And I found this this plugin, and I like wanted to cry. Okay, this isn't that interesting. Hold on. Okay, I just moved my sound thing, so if it messes up, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. That just fell. Sorry, my bad. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Pretty, no? So cool. I love this one so much. Okay, let's see. All right, we're getting some. Oh, did I miss a bunch of the things? Mm, 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 mm. Okay, your dead body, title, cover art, LMAO. You're dead bodying up high? Oh gosh, guys. I don't know. I'm just not sure about that. Anyway, cube sounds amazing. And then on top of it, another one. Okay. Talking about bass, guys. What was the one that I just got? I got a really cool bass thing. It's not mellow, VB mellow. This, y'all. For you guys who don't play bass, I play some bass, but I'm not a great bassist by any means whatsoever. This is really, really cool. So basically, you can choose, let's say, like a BPM of, I don't know, let's go like, I don't even know what I want. That maybe? I don't know. Isn't there, wait. Is this the thing? No. What is, honestly, I just got this like a few days ago, so do not be judging the fact that I don't know how this works. But let's see. Oh no, here it is. Here we go. Factor. And then you can go hip hop, and then you can go to, let's say, retro. Let's try this. It has a whole bunch of recordings of amazing bassists. Miss Chubby. Are you kidding me? And it's like cool intonation and everything. I thought that this was so fun. And they also had, where's the Latin one? Oh yeah, the Latin. Yo, what was the one? A go-go? Was it the go-go? There's one that was so cool. Okay, so it doesn't go to all of them. You know what I mean? Oh, it's still playing. Okay, interesting. But yeah, no, it is wild. Okay. You damn, man. Anyway, okay, how do I get you to stop? Okay, I don't know how to make it stop. I'm telling you, Pro Tools is like, nay, ma'am. Sound Paint, also amazing. I'm showing you guys. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Y'all, I am so dumb. I am so dumb. I've been on the wrong thing the entire time. I've been showing you these amazing things and no one could hear a thing. Oh, y'all, thank you for letting me know. I didn't check the chat. Noob. Okay, so now we're on Sound Paint. I'll show you the other things after, but like Sound Paint's wild. Okay, so I use this actually in my song Heaven is Jungle. That is going to be coming out at the end of the summer, which is real fun. But they have, as you can see, I've saved a few things. Let's look at the not this, I want not those. They have all these libraries. It's very heavy in terms of data and like how big it is. Okay, do you hear this? I'm guessing y'all are hearing that, right? We now see it. I'm now getting that it's shown. But yeah, this is like so cool. So you'll hear this in my song. Love it. So good. Disco strings. That was that one. But then they have this amazing drum one, which is, we have the new disco drums, and then the Daft Punk drums are actually kind of great. Who is it? Here we go. Air Tonight. Right. Nice, right? Sounds good. Anyway, so those ones are super cool. Sound Paint's great. I will go back to the other one, which I am embarrassed now that you guys have said like a bunch of stuff that you couldn't even hear it. Okay, so this is Cube. This is the one that I was like, oh my god, so pretty. Perfect for my sound healing thing. Like, look how pretty this is. And what's so cool about this is that it's actually three-dimensional. You can change the orbit. So this is how it moves. So you can have something back, circle. This goes back and forth. So you can hear the sound moving in the 3D soundscape. So for like a sound healing project, this is absolutely perfect. I love this one. And then also the other one and I was showing you the Expand 2. Come on, guys. I'm such a little newbie noob. Okay, so we'll go through it. I had my genuine excited reactions and y'all couldn't hear. So, my bad. But yeah, so there's this beat. So this is the one I was talking about. Like, are you kidding? That's so cool. And then there was one that was a Timbaland style. Okay, I'm just reviewing. Right? And that actually sounds pretty decent. Like, okay, the sound volume is like quite low. Let's be real. Let's go like not bad for Expand 2. And this is like a basic plugin that goes with it. Omnisphere. Omnisphere is so good. I had on my old computer, but I haven't moved it over because it was my friend's license. And anyway, so another one I have to buy. Which is what happens when you get into this. You're like, honestly, hobby or professional, like you be paying a pretty penny for all this stuff because so good. I use Plugin Boutique all the time and I've gotten so much stuff through there that I have like so much I buy with my money that I've already spent, like the points that they have. Okay, so this one. All right, so this is UJam. And then I was showing you the hip hop. I think I showed, I mean, we can just try another one. Let's do Hooray, Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty. Like what? What? Wild. And then there was a Latin thing and then it was getting stuck. Let's do bossa. So fun. Honestly, there's so many in here that you're like, ooh, so cool. Salsa or salsa. And then you can change the tone of it, how it hits, if it's round, hollow, all this stuff. Honestly, love this plugin. I got it a few days ago. Super cool. Haven't played too much around it. Classic Clovegran, if you guys want cool ones. Skaka's Wild, Ting. I love me Ting. And then, oh yeah, so we did Sound Paint. What other ones? I think that was what I did. I think you're all cut up now. Anyway, those are some fun plugins. Baz. I don't know that one. Wait, what? Do I know that one? Oh, wait, what? Wait, what brand is that from? Baz been or Omnisphere has, maybe you were saying has been your best investment. Maybe that would make sense because I don't know anything called Baz. But yeah, guys, so that's our stream. We had a little hangout. That was fun. I think now we can reconvene back on this camera. My bad. Next time, I will be a little bit more mindful. I don't have a way of managing the chat to come forward without having everything pop up and block my screen, so it was a little bit more difficult. I think I would probably next time put the chat set up on my phone so I can see it because I don't have a second monitor. Anyway, it was super fun. I'm so impressed with your songs. If this time you did not submit your songs and you want to submit them, I put in the description the email. It's a super simple email. It's darianna.listentomytrack@gmail.com. I'm going to try to do maybe one of these every like month or so. But yeah, I think they're loads of fun. It's great to connect with you guys. You guys are so talented. Am I only live on YouTube? Well, this is a thing. I will see. So far, it's been YouTube. It could also be Instagram. I am restarting my lives on my own YouTube channel, probably mid-April or so. I'm going to start doing some sound healing things and production lives, so that should be interesting. So we shall see. And those ones I'll probably also stream to Instagram. There are a few glitches actually when it comes to streaming, like it's called multicasting. But yeah, multicasting to Instagram as well is a little bit annoying. So we'll see. So far, it's only YouTube, and because I don't think we've set up the Twitch for RAC or anything. So yeah, so far it's YouTube. But if you guys have any suggestions, if you guys want to submit your songs for next time, write it. I have a few that maybe I'm trying to also not necessarily have it just be in order of what came in, but to give a variety. So I already have one that I'm definitely going to put in the next one. But yeah, I hope the feedback was helpful. I hope you can see that just with EQ, you can do so much, but then also multi band, you can really tailor your songs so that they breathe a lot better. Really remember, honestly, do your S's, F's, plosives, all that stuff manually. I have yet to use, I mean, sibilance is kind of the closest one, but honestly, I loathe de-essers. I find them so clunky. But yeah, I am going to peace out. I have my friend's album launch that I'm going to, which I'm really excited about. This was super, super fun. If you guys have any feedback, you can always email that email as well. Submissions, please include your name, your artist name, the name of your track, a little backstory on you, anything that you struggled with, any backstory on the track as well. But yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so happy we did this. And yeah, if you have any video ideas, I think based off the conversation we had today earlier before the stream start, I did a little hangout with people. So next time I'll try to do that as well. So if you want to come hang out beforehand, and I'll do a little bit of like an ask me anything. So yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, we did a discussion on how to launch and like how to get visible as a starting musician and artist. So I'll probably do a little video on just some cool ways to monetize and launch your career early in like the early stages. I gave a link in here. I mean, not a link, an at. I don't know why I couldn't copy the link over, but if you look up Natasha Austere, so Natasha, spelled Natasha, and then Austere is Austere. She has a really cool program that I bought and I'm going to be doing myself for building a visual brand identity. I highly recommend. So far, it's been really, really cool. And yeah, I will be seeing you guys in the next one. As I say in my videos, so, so, so impressed with you guys. And yeah, I had fun today. Thanks for hanging out. It was super cool. All right, guys, bye.